This is Cheryl from California, and today we are going to go over Lesson 3 of The University of Success by Og Mandino. Now, this book is a book where Og Mandino actually just wrote the introduction, and then he had 10 semesters, 8 semesters of regular, what you would consider a university, and 2 graduate courses. So we're on the 3rd lesson of the 1st semester. Now the theme for this whole semester is about knowing yourself. And in the 3rd lesson, we are going to look at the 3rd author. He picks an author for all 50. So for the 3rd author, he has named Dale Carnegie. Now everyone knows Dale Carnegie as the author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. But he also wrote another book by the name of How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And in this book, he actually wrote about different people who he had asked questions about as far as living and worrying, and then he compiled it into this book, and then Og Mandino just took a small portion of that and put it into his lesson 3. Now there are several authors that were in that book from Dale Carnegie. Harold Abbott, who actually was his lecture manager, Eddie Rickenbacker, Jonathan Swift, who wrote Gulliver's Travels, and Schopenhauer, John Palmer, Lucille Blake, Samuel Johnson, and Logan Purcell Smith, and Borghild Dahl. That's Borghild Dahl, in case somebody wants to, find out who that is. What I'm going to do today is I'm just going to go over the first and the last little stories that he wrote about. Now, Mr. Harold Abbott, his lecture manager, Dale Carnegie's lecture manager, he asked his lecture manager, he said, how do you keep from worrying? And he told him a story that he never forgot, so he included it into his book. He said it was about the spring day of 1934, and he had lost his business and had incurred a lot of debts and was going to Merchant and Miners Bank to just borrow some money. And he came across this man who was on somewhat like a roller skates, and he was using his hands. He had no legs. He was using his hands to move himself around. It's like a roller skates. And this man looked up at him and he said, "Good morning, sir. It's a fine morning, isn't it?" And since that man said that, he kind of felt sorry. He kind of started thinking. I was like, wow, here it is. I have, a lot, lost my business, lost everything. Has no feet, and he's, and he's like so cheerful. So he had intended to ask the bank just for $100 back in 1934. That was a lot of money, and he was going to go to Kansas City to try to get a job. But after he saw this man, he decided, when he went to Kansas City, he asked for $200 instead of $100, and he declared, he said, I'm going to Kansas City to get a job, not to look for a job. And then he wrote this, he put this on his bathroom mirror, and he reads it every morning as he's, getting ready to go, to do his, go to work. He said, "I had the blues because I had no shoes, until upon the street I met a man who had no feet." That was the first one. And then the last one is about the Borghild Dahl, D-A-H-L. She was actually an author. She wrote, I Wanted to See. And she was saying, they were saying, even if you look at dishwashing, how could you be thankful for dishwashing or make dishwashing a thrilling experience? It talked about how she had only one eye, and she had lots of scars in that one eye, and she could only see on the from a small opening on the left of the eye. And when she would read, she would hold a book so close to her eyes that her eyelashes, would actually strike the book. But she didn't want to be, labeled. So she did everything else that the children did. She wanted to play hopscotch, and she actually went on the ground and looked and memorized everything and actually played with the kids. And when she would read, she did all of these different games with the kids, and then she ended up a bachelor's and a master's, one from University of Minnesota and one from Columbia University. So she was living in Sioux Falls in North Dakota. So she actually became a professor of journalism and literature at that school, and she kept herself busy so that because she feared being, actually going completely blind. And she adopted a cheerful, almost hilarious attitude towards life. Then in 1943, in the Mayo Clinic, she was 52 years at the time, she was able to have an operation, and she was able to see. And that's how she came to look at the thrill of washing dishes in the sink. And she would say a prayer. She closes her book with these words, Dear Lord, I whisper, Our Father in heaven, I thank thee. I thank thee. Imagine thanking God because you can wash dishes and see rainbows and bubbles and sparrows flying through the snow. You and I ought to be ashamed of ourselves. All the days of our years we have been living in a fairy land of beauty. But we have been too blind to see, too satiated to enjoy. If you want to stop worrying and start living, count your blessings, not your troubles. So this is the third lesson from Og Mandino's University of Success. And after reading this, I couldn't help but thank, God for everything in my life. There's one excerpt where it said, what would you pay? What would you give in exchange for your sight, or, your health, or, your family, or anything that you have? Would you take $1 trillion, $1 million? The little things that we take for granted. So it just made me think, look back, and I enjoyed lesson 3. So this is Cheryl from California. Join me on Monday for lesson 4. I'm only going to do these little University of Success Monday through Friday, just like you would in a normal school. All right. So you have a nice weekend, and I'll see you then.